That does not mean that common grace or that the redemptive aspects of humanity are not somehow represented in those men in ways that we can extrapolate from and learn from.
Yeah, be convicted by.
Yeah, be convicted by.
Like, golly, somebody who has no belief in God believed this false thing with such conviction that it puts me in my right beliefs and how I act those out in my day-to-day life to shame.
To shame. To shame.
Yeah. You fat, lazy Westerner.
Break out the boom.
Welcome to Workhard. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Jason.
Now this is podcasting.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the world, both of American nationality and non-American nationality. Belgians specifically.
Yeah, and the Swedes, I think, are coming in pretty strong.
Swedes are coming in strong too. Shouts out! I think you're the same people. Sorry, I'm not willing to have the nuance to discern between the two of you. You look the same to me, so I'm going with that. You're both
just white people,
just good old whites. All right.
Good old what?
Whites.
What is that?
White people, but you say it like a southern guy with a South Carolina accent.
Oh, okay. I got
White. Guys.
I was just thinking, is that something I need to bleep?
No. I don't think so.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. In this day and age, being...
well, we are white, so we can say it.
That's true. We are white, so we can say white.
White.
I found out recently that a streamer was getting banned for saying cracker.
Really?
Yeah, for referring to white people as cracker.
Was he a white guy?
No, it was a she, and she was white. She's an Irish lady.
What?
Yeah.
She was getting banned.
She was getting banned for saying cracker, which I think you get banned on Twitch.
For just about anything?
I think if you're a black guy saying the N-word, I think you also get banned.
Really?
So I don't think that
they just don't want any of the words being said by anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least as long as they're fair with the policy across the board, that's one thing.
Yeah, I might disagree with it, but it's one thing to disagree with.
Sure, but it's at least consistent.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's logically consistent.
Yes, it is logically consistent.
We don't want anyone saying this word. We'll ban you. If you say it, you said it, you're gone.
You're gone. Yeah, so that's...
Instead of being like, well, you are 75%.
Yeah.
So you can say it.
You can say what...
That's fine.
Yeah.
The word isn't bad when you say it.
The word isn't bad. This is a little off topic, but I want to make a prediction because I've had this prediction. I've been saying this for 5 years, and I want to make sure that it's on record and that everyone knows that I've said this before it happens, because it will happen. And it's that Kendrick Lamar is a dork. All right, that's what I've been thinking. I've been forgetting to say this, so I'm just saying it now before I forget again.
Okay, now we know.
Kendrick Lamar, the rapper, is a dork. And that will become the popular opinion in like a few years. It's already starting to happen.
Okay.
All right. Kendrick Lamar, dork. He's got a dork face. He's got a dork mindset. Drake was making fun of him, calling him the Black Messiah because you're going to come save our people from slavery, right? Like giving him a hard time about that because that's what Kendrick Lamar wants to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. He got on the...
Is this the guy who was at the halftime show?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That guy's Black Dork, all right? I just want everyone to know that that's an Ethan original.
That is the only thing I know him from, and I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it's
just the clips.
The moment I saw the Samuel Jackson in the
Uncle
Sam, they most certainly are not like us. I was like, oh, dork. This is whack. Oh, man, that's cringe. It's bad.
And then what's her name? The tennis player doing the shuffle.
I didn't see that part.
Oh, yeah. They had...
I didn't watch it. I just turned
I don't
it off.
watch tennis. I just know there's a very famous, very good tennis player, female, who's black. I don't remember her
Serena
name.
Williams?
Serena Williams
Yes.
was on the stage, too,
Ah,
doing
she's
some sort of, like, shuffle,
excellent. Great.
you know,
That's all. Hey, black people,
doing black dances.
shouts out. That's all. That's getting dork status. That's going nerd, cringe, band geek status real quick, by the way. So I would just ahead of the curb.
Distance yourself from
Distance
that.
yourself from that. Yeah, become a black hipster. So I don't know. I don't know what the
What the
plan
move is
Yeah,
here.
what the move is. But being Kendrick Lamar, not a good look. It's getting too. You have LeBron James, and like it's getting too mainstream. All right, I'm sorry. All the big. You have multi-billion-dollar companies, whatever. As soon as that starts happening, that is the beginning of the end. That's happened for the past like 2 or 3 years now, since the BLM stuff, however long ago that was, I forget. But
Seems like a long time now.
yeah, people are getting tired of rap. Okay, rap's numbers are going down. Rap has also gotten really unlistenable. It's not. There's like very little creativity left in there to like whatever. It's the whole thing. But it's over. So just let it be over. Don't. I know everyone. Whatever. It's over. Just let it be over. Oh. All right. I have a funny story. I'll tell this and then we'll. This is the.
Well, what you just said about it being over reminds me of that Portlandia sketch. Did you ever watch Portlandia?
a little bit here and there. Yeah.
There was a sketch where there was this very hipster guy living in Portland,
Yeah.
played by the main character. I can't remember his name, but he had like a chin beard and like biked everywhere and whatnot, and had this pub that he really liked to go to and whatnot. And then, so this guy starts showing up in his life, basically going to the same places that he did, but he's like wearing a button-down shirt and is very neat and like
Very like
establishment kind of
yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, hey, friend, you know.
Yeah. Office worker.
And he's
guy.
like, oh, man, that guy's coming here. It's like, this place is over.
Yeah.
Is what he says throughout the whole thing. That guy gradually, he's like, the next time he sees him, he has a chin beard. And then he has like gauged earrings
Yes.
and whatnot. So every time he sees him, they swap places, basically, in life.
Yeah.
Oh, man, shell art is over.
Yeah. That's
So he's
exactly
getting
it.
all
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yes.
And then eventually he has like the button-down shirt and he's like respectable looking and not completely non-hipster, very establishment. And that
Yes.
guy's just like, oh man, guys like that are starting to hang out here at the
Yes.
very end of the skit.
Oh, dude, I know. All right, listen, black guys, I know what you can do. There's a whole new.
Hey, black guys, we got a white guy here to solve it for you.
Listen, why don't you try something different? Just a thought. Goth bodybuilder, that's a new type of guy. It's not like the brand new type of guy, but like goth bodybuilder is like
That's a thing.
That's a thing that's gaining in popularity.
Jeez.
It's been around for a few years, but goth bodybuilder is like a thing now. That's a sick black guy stereotype. Goth bodybuilder, try goth bodybuilder, dude.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's not a bad one.
You heard it here.
Yeah, start listening to Bones. All right, goth bodybuilder. Get into funk music. Okay, goth bodybuilder. Just a thought. Okay.
You got that one story really quick for us?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah. I
wanna roll
got one
into
story. Yesterday, my wife was she recently gave birth. For those of you who don't know, and so I took her to sushi to get some sushi because she hasn't had.
hasn't had it for 9 months?
She hasn't had raw fish in almost a year.
Yeah.
and she
The
loves
poor girl.
Poor, I mean, it's bad. You know, she's hurting. And so I took her to get some sushi, and she was we were in the parking lot, and she was changing our newborn child's diaper in the back. So she'd like open up the back, so the car's like very open, like people can
Yeah.
hear. she's changing the child's diaper, and I'm like on Instagram, and my car's connected to the Bluetooth.
Okay.
And this reel comes up of a man just laughing and describing his friend defecating his pants.
Okay.
And my wife is just in public, like
Yeah.
I'm in the car, she's sitting like this, and so I just turned it up so that it's like real loud, and he's describing it. People are like walking by and like looking and being like, what is
what is this woman listening to?
Yeah, dude, and she's like this. She can't go anywhere. She's trapped.
she's stuck.
Yeah, she's trying to change this diaper.
Which is your dream scenario.
Oh my dude, I was about to become incontinent. I was laughing so hard.
You were about to become
I was
the
about
guy
to be
that
the guy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was.
Then I would tell that story on the pod. No. All right, we're back.
We're back.
Big secret coming. Now.
Yeah, we've got a secret we're trying to keep under wraps.
What is that? 12 minutes.
So she's
Enjoy the elevator music
yeah,
instead of the sneak peek.
yeah. So she's like changed this diaper, and I'm looking back at her. She's like getting bright red and like shaking her head and like so I just wait. I wait until the enthusiast, like annoyed but thinking it's funny, leaves her face, and just the sheer misery of embarrassment enters it, and I turned it off. But it was she was trapped. She was stuck. Just people were walking by, like looking back at her. She was like looking and making eye contact with them. And she was just like, I can't even. Yeah, and the one of the dads. One of the guys walking by with his family saw me in the car laughing,
so
and he started laughing. Like
he knew
was like,
exactly what was going on.
Yeah, dude. He was like, like pushed his wife a little bit.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah. So
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to do that to you.
Yeah, we got in the car. She was like, "You son of a like, I'm gonna." That wasn't funny. And I was like, your tone tells me it was hilarious. Yeah, it was the funniest thing I've done in weeks. And she was it was good. It was good. You got it, dude. You got to tease. If you can't tease your wife, what do you have? That's it. That's the end of the road.
Boys have it's a time-honored tradition to tease girls you like.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm flirting with.
It's flirting.
And I was like, babe, I'm flirting with you. Come on, keeping it spicy. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it was that was fun. I had a good moment, dude.
You're like, what would the alternative be, babe? Let's look at that for a minute.
Yeah. You just get in the car. We just ride silently. No faces. Don't even look at each other. There's no love.
So I heard on NPR the other day.
Yeah. They said that we can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
We shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Anyways, would you like any rice?
Apparently they want to be called little people.
Yeah, they want to be called little people, and
apparently they pulled all midgets, and
they said little people.
It was 52% in favor of moving to little people.
Yes,
so that's what we're doing now as a society.
Yeah, but you have to call the.
Okay, and we'll leave it. We'll leave it there.
I'm not gonna say it. I won't say it. I won't say it.
All right, couch cushions.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, saved ourselves there.
I did have a very
just
good
in
one.
the nick of time.
Yeah, just in the nick of time.
Did you ever watch Bullwinkle? The old cartoon Bullwinkle.
Very little, but yes.
They had a thing where they always arrive in the ta-da nick of time. They would say that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But you always arrive in the ta-da nick of time. Like if you arrived too soon and spoiled the suspense, they'd be like, "Hey, you're too early." That was the joke.
Okay, good. I like that. Okay, couch cushions.
All right, between the couch cushions, this is the segment where we dig into old media and give it a recommendation. Something hopefully a little older that maybe you're not familiar with, or that you should revisit because it's that good. It's worth a second, third, fourth try.
Yes.
Ethan, what's your recommendation this week?
My recommendation is The Last Samurai. Now this, people remember The Gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
Well, tons of people remember The Gladiator. They love The Gladiator. Great movie. Awesome. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It's a great. It earns its place in that position in people's psyche. But The Last Samurai is like forgotten, and I think it came out like roughly the same time.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, early 2000s. And The Last Samurai is maybe because I'm more just as a person predisposed to thinking that Japanese culture is cool and like
Okay.
the way they consider things and the stuff they talk about and like how they think is cool. Like the Hagakure is like it's an awesome book that every man should read. But
What is the Hagakure?
it's a book written by a dude who sat with an old samurai and like talked about like the history of the samurai, what the samurai is, and like
Okay.
how it came to be and what happened to it, and like what the philosophy.
So it's the history and philosophy of the samurai as
Yeah,
told by one old samurai?
Yeah, more
or an
of
old
the-
man?
An old man, yeah. Well, an old samurai, yeah. It's
He
like,
was,
I
okay.
think he talks to multiple samurai. I don't remember exactly how the book, like what.
Okay.
It's been a while since I dug into it.
It's an oral history written down.
Yes, like a priest or something. Something like that. I don't remember. But
Some scribe took it upon himself.
yeah, they've got some. It's some very profound, cool, epic. Just like these dudes relating to each other, just being like, "Oh, you do not." I said no, and then just like fighting for no reason, and just like
Awesome.
it's just great. Yeah.
I was like, I was being sarcastic.
Oh no, I'm being for real.
That you fight for no reason?
Being like we're going to fight to the death because you disrespected me, but by not eating this bowl of rice, is a devotion to
Devotion to an ideal.
yeah, devotion to an ideal. And that
All
you're
right, so that's the part that we're picking out and saying is good.
yes, yeah.
The picking out, don't mishear us and say you should fight to the death over rice.
Yes, yeah. Throwing a life that is not yours away, being your life or another man's life over a bowl of rice.
That is the nihilism, the atheism
That is
in
the
Japanese
atheistic
culture.
Yeah.
What you're saying is good is the total devotion to an ideal.
Yes.
As long as the
so,
ideal
so
is
devoted to the ideal that you're willing to die over
Over it.
minute aspects of it. Like you're so unwilling to back down from minute aspects of it that I will die for it. So The Last Samurai is very good. It's Tom Cruise. It's got the guy who plays the Asian pirate captain in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
He's the like main samurai lord. That dude is such an insane actor. He's so
Yeah.
good. I'm trying to remember if there is. I don't think there is anything in it that is explicit. The death scenes can be very graphic. There's lots of beheading. There's lots of.
It is the samurai.
It is a samurai world. So there's lots of people killing themselves.
Is it Ken Watanabe?
I think so.
If I'm-
shaved head.
I don't know. I'm just reading the name. It's the second one after Tom Cruise listed in the cast. I'm assuming if it's a main character.
I can't see it.
Oh, here he is. Yeah.
His name starts with a D in the movie.
Okay.
Anyways, so you've got The Last Samurai, very good, really profound, amazing ending. It's a retelling of a historical event, although it's not really. It captures the spirit of what happened and not really at all
Right, the historical events, exactly.
the details. But it's very, very good, and it's. I would watch it with my son. Probably whenever you would feel comfortable watching The Lord of the Rings with your son is probably the same time you could watch this. It's a little bit more graphic, but
But The Lord of the Rings has a lot of creepy, ghoulish
a lot of scary
characters.
people. Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah,
depending
that's
on
why
what
it's
your
like-
kids are sensitive to.
Yeah. So because I don't think there's any nudity. There's one scene that I can't remember. I think I just skipped it just in case because I was like, I'm not even going to see if this has got nudity in it. But I'm pretty positive there's no nudity, and there's very little like romance. There's very little room for that to occur. But
It is wartime.
it's a movie for men. Like there's no like maybe girls will like this. It's all like this is one for the boys.
IMDb says no sex and nudity.
Yeah. So no sex and nudity. So I mean I would just advise you to maybe just watch
Violence and gore is rated as severe, frightening in intensity, moderate. Everything else is mild or none.
it. Yeah, you'll see like the violence and gore that happens in the movie throughout the movie happens very intensely at like the beginning. So you'll see it pretty much immediately. and then you can evaluate for yourself in that first 30 minutes of like, okay, is this, because it's not going to get any worse than it gets in the first 30 minutes.
Okay, sorry. There is a woman seen in a hot spring, her bare shoulders and legs being visible.
Yeah, she's got a
So
she's
she
got a
is
sash.
nude. She's nude, but she's not shown completely. So
She's got a robe on.
I don't know why they don't have.
So it's like a sash. You only see her shoulder.
Oh, she has
for,
a robe
for a
on?
little boy. For a little boy, maybe that's a little bit much.
Yeah. So okay, be aware.
Yeah, but it's a very quick scene. You can skip it. Like you
Cool.
press one button on the skip, and it will skip through it.
By the way, this came out 3 years after Gladiator. Gladiator
Okay.
was 2000. This was 2003.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
very close.
very close. So it's just it's such a great movie. It is a movie we're going to dive into a little bit more today. So I won't talk on too much. And if you want to watch it, just fair warning, I'm going to spoil it today. So pause this, watch it, come back, and then we'll listen, and then we can talk about it.
I don't have
together.
that luxury. He's just going to spoil it for me.
I already did.
He already did before this, so now I have no reason to watch it.
That's not true. It's such an epic.
I would still watch it. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. All right.
My recommendation, just to keep with the theme of swords and medieval era stuff, I'm going to recommend Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance,
Yes. Yes.
which is a game I have replayed a couple of times, I think, over the years.
Yeah.
This is like a turn-based strategy game with an RPG. Yeah, so you have main characters, and in this game, if your character dies and you don't go back to your last save point, like main characters will die, and it changes the story and what sort of other characters you can unlock down the road. It can be a little meticulous. You got to go through the battles, because you'll have like a blank battle and there's some fog of war, and you'll see more as your characters progress through this particular battle. There's like cutscenes in between the battle that carry the story along. And so obviously you go through the overarching story, and you gather more people into your group that you can then use. There's different classes. So there's like knights on horseback. There's swordsmen on foot, and there's archers. There's magic users, healers. Like there's even like wyvern riders, which are like dragon riders, and Pegasus riders as well. My favorite pretty much is the thieves, because the thieves have like a small dagger and they're very weak, and they can pick locks for you, so they're useful for getting indoors. And then they become exceedingly deadly when you upgrade them into an assassin. So if you manage to get them to the assassin level, they are like almost an instant kill for any other unit. They're very powerful. So they all have like a second tier where you upgrade the character and they become way more powerful. It's very cool. So anyway, Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance. I think this is the original Game Boy Advance. The one I'm talking about is I don't know what year it came out. Anyway, that's about it. That's what I got for my recommendation. Thanks for joining us for Between the Couch Cushions. We'll see you next week. You want to get into the main topic here, Ethan?
Let's do it. Let's do it, boys. All right. We're this. So I think I want to preface this by saying this is a little bit more. I'm going to be pulling from scripture a little bit more than we usually do. One of the reasons why I kind of stray away from that often is because I don't necessarily feel qualified to do that.
Yeah, well, obviously, neither of us are theologians, and this is not like a theological or gospel-forward podcast. Everything that we say is with a Christian worldview back into it, and we're trying to be faithful to that.
Right.
Obviously, imperfectly. But, so this one's going to be a little bit more trying to reference some scripture and
Yeah. So
and unpack some of those things. So just take it as this is a conversation of two guys talking about these sorts of things. So
yeah.
Be a Berean, read the scripture for yourself, compare it with other scripture, and feel free to engage us in,
Yeah, and if you've ever heard
commentary.
your pastor say something that disagrees
It's
with
different.
you,
I would go with the
just
pastor,
go with your
probably.
pastor. Yeah, don't just default to him.
Depending on what church you go to.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. But
if you go to a faithful Reformed Protestant church, go with their take.
yeah, go with
over
their
ours.
take. Yeah. Always. Yeah, today we're going to basically do what most evangelical pastors do from the pulpit, which they shouldn't do, which is give an inspirational speech about self-help and just pepper in Bible verses into it. That's what we're going to do today. So this is not like an expositional...
I don't like comparing it to that.
Okay. So
this is guys sitting around talking about
just
life
chopping it up
and theology.
Yes, this is not an official position.
As somebody once described it to me recently, this is like a back porch conversation.
Yes.
Guys smoking cigars and drinking whiskey and chatting with each other.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't have boys to smoke cigars with and drink whiskey on a beautiful evening on the back porch, this one's for you.
This one's for you. So the topic of today, I think, is really kind of encapsulated by belief and faith. I don't, because I'm not as plugged in today with like young people as I once was, because now I'm not. I'm in the limbo state. I'm 30, so now I'm like where young people think I'm old and old people think I'm young.
Yeah.
So I'm trapped.
We are both at the old side of young.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, we're at the old side of young. Yeah. I'm not as tuned in to young people as I once was, but when I was a young person, and to give you guys a little background on me, many of you have it, but I'll just give it briefly here for those that don't, because we have so many new listeners. Shouts out. I was saved when I was 21, so I was an adult when I was saved. I was raised in the church, but I was very put off by it for many, many years. And one of the reasons why I found it so off-putting was, and I didn't realize this till later, even sometime after I was saved, was because I felt like the level of belief for most people was very low. Like there was very low conviction.
Okay.
And
it was all just words
and
dashboard Christians.
Dashboard Christians, and I had never experienced worship outside of the evangelical church, and so it was very. Now listen, I'm sorry. Like I'm not trying to personally besmirch evangelicals. All right, this is just how.
Yeah, what we're saying when we mean evangelicals is what we perceive as a very nominal type of Christianity,
non-denominational.
Well,
like,
I mean nominal, as in it's in name only. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Because there's non-denominational churches that are very Bible-based and very faithful and serious about what they're doing. So I'm not trying to paint those in a bad light, and neither is Ethan. What we're saying is, when we say evangelical, that term is kind of changing in the last few years, at least, to mean more of a superficial, cultural kind of Christianity.
Yeah. Very Rick Warren.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I would often be kind of revolted by was worship services. And these worship services, not only did they have the whole Jesus is my boyfriend, every song was about how God is here to help your anxiety. Those songs are not geared towards people of my predisposition, we'll say. And so that those were off-putting to begin with in and of themselves. But then often it was very clear to me that at least in the college worship services, you're going to a youth night or whatever, the worship services also, I saw somebody on social media put it as the self-worship services. That's what they were calling them, self-worship services, that's really
Ouch.
phenomenal. Yeah. That is a biting observation. And
I don't remember if you sent it to me or maybe Devin did. There was some reel where there's a guy with a guitar up on stage, and he's like, "Hey guys, the next song is one I wrote myself. It's all about humility." And then it zooms back and there's like fireworks shoot off.
Yeah, dude, I've been seeing a lot of reels that are like, the pastor at your big local church right after he says it's all about Christ, and it's like some anime guy like flying through the air in like a golden suit, like doing some massive like hero landing, and like it's just like
boom,
Dragon Ball Z style, like yeah, really good stuff. And so the I'd be sitting in service.
Yeah, that's who we're talking about.
That is who we're talking. Yeah.
So if that doesn't fit you, don't get offended.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, and if
it does, take a second look.
Yeah. Take a beat.
Listen harder.
Yeah. So the just very often it would obviously become a display of look how hard I can worship. My hands are in the air. I'm on my knees and crying.
The Spirit's really moving.
Yes. And so it was very, very hard for me to engage with that. And one time I was a camp counselor. I was like 20. It was after I got saved. So this was not it's a good ministry that I was working at. They were vetted. They vetted me thoroughly. They knew who I was. I had other men who vouched for me. They were not like, here's this non-Christian guy we're bringing into the Christian camp. Is a good ministry, and it still is a good ministry. I got to see some cool stuff there, but I got kind of in trouble. Not in trouble. They were like.
There was a slap on the wrist.
I had my buddy who ran the thing call me, be like, dude. Yeah. So I didn't get it. It wasn't like that, but I got kind of on my bag once because we were in this. First of all, another like kind of evangelical non-denominational thing that they do that I don't agree with is mixed gender Bible studies.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel necessarily about like couples Bible studies, where it's like we're going to come together as young marrieds and kind of study what the Word has to say about this together. Maybe that's useful, but to have a bunch of young single people of both genders coming into
all two
of them of both genders coming into an environment, it just, in my experience, it very rapidly declined into the women having a competition about how vulnerable they could be, and the men sitting there silently every time. All right, and that never didn't happen every time I went.
We had in a past church, we had. I don't remember if they were called Bibles. No, it was called small groups, basically. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't had that experience exactly.
Yeah,
so
and again,
I had mixed.
Like the small group thing, I think that's where it's like, we've got husbands and wives and like that. Yeah, that's.
I remember I sat next to my wife before I really knew her very well at one of these small groups, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and so. There's a gray line there. I'm not drawing a harsh distinction.
Yeah.
But I am saying like
one of the dangers, one of the pitfalls of it.
We'll go with that. One of the pitfalls that I saw happen every time.
Anecdotal example.
It happened every time I was there. Maybe if you have a leader in the church who's there, who's capable of keeping that from happening and keeping things on track.
If they're led by like an elder or
something like that.
It's a little different.
Maybe than just putting a bunch of 19-year-olds in a room and just
who wants to teach tonight?
Yes,
kind of thing.
That kind of stuff. And so that I got on a diatribe at one of these, and I was very passionate. Like, this is what do we even talk? Like if basically they were all being like. I'm trying to word this in a way that doesn't seem like I'm going at women, but it just the conversation in general had done what it had done every time prior, which was devolve into a discussion about how you feel about what the text is.
Oh, okay.
And how it makes you feel relative to your level of stress that you experience in your day-to-day life.
Okay.
And the diatribe I kind of got on...
Good so far.
Yeah. The diatribe I kind of got on was, if any of you believed what any of these words said, none of you would feel this level of stress. Was the diatribe I got on. and it didn't go great.
Weird.
Strange.
Odd that there'd be backlash against
Yeah,
that
it's what
when you were attacking everyone's feelings.
Yeah, a bunch of people who are
Everyone
on
who already
Zoloft.
told you that they were very vulnerable, and you're like, allow me to pour salt in that wound.
Yeah. Which I think actually it did.
Here's Ethan. He brought all the lemons.
It did have. Yeah. I've got so many lemons. Dude.
So many
I've got
lemons.
so many lemons.
There's so many cuts to
And
pour them in.
I keep trying to make.
Somebody's got to.
I keep trying to make lemonade, and I can't do. Everyone hates my lemonade.
Because it's devoid of sugar and it's poured in open wounds.
Yeah, I think so. But hey, I will say one girl came to me later.
When life gives you lemons, you squeeze them into people's
Yeah,
eyes
squeeze it into women's eyes. Yeah.
who have just gotten done telling you that they're having
Upset.
a bad week.
Yeah. You shouldn't be having one.
Your faith is weak.
Yeah. I also learned. I learned shortly before marriage. Just I was like, oh, I guess you can't relate to women that way. That works with men, but that's not how you talk to girls.
Yeah, they don't react the same.
Yeah, which is a big part of the reason why it's easier to have men's Bible studies and women's Bible studies.
Yeah, because you can throw lemons around.
Yeah.
People still come the next week.
Yeah. But this young woman came to me afterwards and said, I felt like that was directed at me. Were you talking about me? And I said, did you feel like I was talking about you? And she said, yes. And then I said, I think you've discovered your own answer. But then we talked about it for a long time, and she was like, she said she got a lot. She seemed sincere and was like, okay, like that's not. She was like, I don't know that you're wrong. She was like,
Oh, okay. Wow.
yeah. She was like, maybe I am just being too soft and not faithful enough. Maybe that's the answer. So I mean, it worked for at least one.
There is
lady.
yes. Well, God uses all kinds.
For those things that man intends for bad, God uses for good.
Yeah.
I thought it
was
intended
it
for
Doug
bad.
Wilson says, and I don't know if he originated this or not the idea certainly, but his phrasing of it is God draws straight with crooked lines.
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
David, Samson, Noah, Moses.
Yes.
The list goes basically all of them.
Yeah, not
They're all crooked lines.
not that Jason or I are saying that either of us are comparable to the great men of the Bible.
No,
but
no, no. We're just saying that we're crooked lines and God is drawing straight with us in some way.
I hope so. Yeah.
And we're not trying to be crooked lines.
Yes. Yeah.
We just can't help but not be pretty crooked.
Yeah. So, there's a. I'll return to The Last Samurai. So, I'll give this caveat, which is that there's these people are not Christians, and so they're going to be replete with abhorrent ways of thinking. Seppuku is one of them, right? You'll see that all throughout anytime you consume any sort of like media that's about samurai, you're going to have guys killing themselves. Obviously sinful. That's not your life to take. You don't get to kill yourself. That's not that's God's life. You don't get to decide what happens with it.
Right. The taking of life is reserved solely for the government to bear the sword and to execute wrongdoers.
Right.
For specific God-given reasons.
God-given reasons that he's been very
usually
explicit
relating to other people
killing,
violating
Yeah.
that law
Yeah.
of taking another's life.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So
carry on.
thank you. So so I don't want to sound like I'm like worshiping at the feet of Bushido and the samurai way. When I'm talking about this, but I do want to. There are many aspects of their predisposition that I think is extremely useful for young people today in the Christian world, because it is extremely. These men believed what they were talking about so much that they were willing to die brutal deaths over little aspects of what these things, of these disagreements. They were willing to put their life down.
Yeah, they believed it with every fiber of their being. And they died many times. Pain and personal comfort were very tertiary.
And they died many times in in very calm, honorable ways. Now, they all went to hell, which sucks, but they
faith is not enough. It has to be in the right thing.
Yes, yeah, it has to be in the right thing, and
Be convicted by.
Yeah, be convicted by.
Like, golly, somebody who has no belief in God believed this false thing with such conviction that it puts me in my right beliefs and how I act those out in my day-to-day life to shame.
To shame.
Yeah. You fat, lazy Westerner.
Yes. Well, you don't have to, personally attack me. See?
Well, you can be fat, I can be lazy. I was speaking generally to both of us.
Yeah. So the movie The Last Samurai is a great example because it's a highly fictionalized, dramatized version of real events. So these men really did face the westernization of Japan, and their beef with the westernization of Japan was not that it was happening at all, but just that it was happening too fast. That was it. That was their complaint. That it was happening.
The samurai
Okay. that started the Civil War, basically. Their beef was that it was happening too fast.
Right.
And
legitimate complaint
to
change an entire society
like that in a generation. Yeah. Forcing people to start. Yeah. People who have only ever been in a rickshaw. I'm not saying that in a joking way. For real, people who have only ever gone as fast as a rickshaw can go, trying to tell them that now they have to get on a train to go to the next town over because rickshaws are now illegal because we got trains now.
Is that a real example, or you just?
I don't know if they made rickshaws illegal, but that was you could they built a train.
Okay. And
now you have a train. Market forces would dictate anybody who uses the train is going to get a clear advantage over people who don't use the train.
Right. Okay.
So you're now demanding that somebody who's never gone 40 miles an hour has to sit and go 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's terrifying.
It's a rapid acceleration into the modern era.
Right. That's too much, too fast.
The G's are going to be a little overwhelming.
Yeah. You're going to knock this poor guy out when you hit a turn going 35 miles an hour on a steam engine. Yeah. And so their complaint was that they were going too fast in their transition, and they were willing to die for it, and they did to a man. And so there's this really beautiful. I'll tell it at least from the scene in the movie because I did my research, but it's you get conflicting reports, and so it's hard to really know exactly what happened because you have the reports of the French officers and you have the reports of the Japanese officers who are all on the Western side.
Okay.
And then you have the journal entries and the recording of the samurai warriors, and it's all kind of the Japanese soldiers all reported it as if these samurai were deities, they were just so terrifying and
just their presence.
You have the report of Japanese peasants who have lived their entire lives in this idea that these samurai are literally servants of a god and are in their own way kind of like angelic, sort of indomitable supernatural presences.
Just about indestructible.
And now they have a gun.
Formidable.
They're shooting at these guys, and these guys have leather armor, and they're shooting them in the chest, and the samurais are not dying. So they're shooting them in the chest twice, and the samurai just marches
continues
up and then
cuts
your friend in half, and you're like, I don't understand how that's possible.
And you drop the rifle.
Yeah, you drop the rifle and run away. So there's a lot of embellishment from the Japanese side of the Western Japanese side because they're
because it was aided by
they're already
all that background.
Yeah, in such awe of these guys.
Yeah,
and they already have this sense of we're kind of betraying.
Yeah,
our culture and ourselves for this idea that we're going to get a little extra money.
Maybe a lot of suppressed guilt there.
Yeah, a lot of suppressed guilt, and so you get these guys that are now at war with war with themselves,
with their heroes.
Yeah, with their heroes.
Yeah, with their own culture.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah, so the reports of these guys on the battlefield were that they were, killing men in the dozens, and one sword strike was entire armies were getting cleaved in half, and
the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
There's another regiment down.
Yeah, and then the French guys were obviously
samurai number 3.
Yeah. And the French guys were these are savages. They're so uncivilized, whatever.
Right.
And then the Japanese samurai were just like, they were probably the most accurate report because they're so stoic, whatever. They're just like,
Tell it like it is.
I must make this charge. It is for the honor of my people. Like, we die a honorable death. So in the movie, so I'll just tell it from the movie's standpoint because it's just really, anyways, it's the idea and the
we're getting
spirit
at.
that's communicated in the movie that did happen in history, but you can engage it more easily in the movie.
So
we'll
take
talk
a
about
chill pill, history buffs.
Yeah.
Don't.
So whether or not this all specifically happened is not the concern. It's the spirit of the thing. It's the nobility of the idea that we're talking about.
Spirit of the law, not letter of the law is what we're going for here.
And so in the end of the movie, so here's what I'll say. There's a scene in the movie where Tom Cruise's character is engaging with the leader of the rebellion.
And he plays what exactly?
He plays
one
an
of the
American
French?
officer.
Oh, an American officer.
In reality, so in the movie it's Americans. In reality, it was the French.
Oh, okay. So the movie swapped just
right.
Americans.
It's made for an American audience, so we're gonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
gotcha.
Americans. And
I
then
thought that he was supposed to be French.
No, in the history it's French. In the history, they're French guys. In the
carry on.
Yeah, in the movie it's Americans. So he gets captured, right? And this really does happen. So in history, this is verifiable. This is like known, recorded fact. They brought this French officer and they brought these French officers over to train a new modern Japanese military that used rifles. Well, I think that they were rifles at that point. I don't remember, but they weren't muskets, but there's a difference, I guess. Rifling is what makes it a rifle, and so you can have a bolt action gun that isn't a rifle, I guess. Whatever, that's a detail, but
okay.
That's my understanding. It's not a rifle unless the barrel is rifled.
Gotcha.
So they're training a gunpowder army. The French soldiers are training them. They're not ready. They come in. The commanders are like, we have to fight them. We're doing this. And the French officers are like, that's a bad idea. These guys are not ready to fight. They do it anyways. This French officer is captured because the whole army is basically destroyed.
The samurai wipe them out.
The samurai wipe them out.
Capture this
officer.
officer.
They charge. They just do a cavalry charge and all the.
And so in the movie, that officer is the American Tom Cruise character.
Tom Cruise character, right?
Gotcha.
So in the
Tom
movie,
Cruise.
there's a cavalry charge. All the Japanese soldiers, they fire too quickly. They don't hit anything. They can't aim. They're under pressure, and so they break and they run away. And Tom Cruise's character is left, and he kills like a couple samurai, and it's a whole thing. They're like, oh, this one's a good fighter. We must save him. And so they bring him back. So he's in captivity with these Japanese through the winter. So he lives with them through the winter. He's an alcoholic. They force him to
sober
up. And he eventually, once he comes out of his withdrawal haze, comes out and is meeting with the leader, and the leader is trying to ask him about the new army and what's going on. What do they have? He's trying to understand the enemy he's facing a little bit better. And he also is still very fascinated by the West. He just wants to know about them, about their culture and why this rank and file soldier, basically he's an officer, but he's not like a nobleman or whatever. He's like journaling, like you can read and write. Why can you read and write? That kind of stuff.
Okay.
And
he's not familiar with that type of person.
Right. And so there's a little bit of this like exchange of culture where they're like having these moments where they're kind of surprising each other with the way that they do things. And Tom Cruise's character walks into this garden, and in the garden, whatever his name, the leader is there, and he's looking at these cherry blossoms, and Tom Cruise comments on their beauty, and the leader says, you could spend your whole life looking for the perfect blossom and it wouldn't be a wasted life. Now, in and of itself, that comment, that level of devotion to creation, to the minutia, to the little thing, and this is everywhere, like in Bushido and in the Japanese philosophy of like this idea of perfection. And they even have that in the movie where he's like, Tom Cruise's character says, these are the most disciplined people I've ever seen. Like the villagers wake up every morning and are completely devoted to their assigned task. And they're like, each hand stroke is designed to be, how can I do this better? How can I do this more perfectly? How can this is what I am. This is who I am. This is who fate has assigned me to be. And so I will engage in this as earnestly and sincerely and as with much focus as I possibly can. There's no, what's life like? There's no existential question. There's no, all of that is answered by the fact that fate, this like entity, not entity kind of thing.
Right. Ethereal thing.
This ethereal thing has assigned to them through life this position. And so I don't have to wonder about what
my purpose
is.
Yeah.
It's been given to me. This is what I do.
Okay. So I'm going to buckle it down and do it.
And the amount of faith and belief that you have to get there is so immense. And so he has this, they have this moment of, you could spend your entire life looking for the perfect blossom, and it would not be a wasted life. And they continue on through the movie. Eventually, the final battle occurs. The samurai lose, but the Japanese soldiers are so impressed. And this is where it's like, did this happen? Did this not happen? This is one of those things that,
okay,
who knows? That a couple of soldiers could have done this. A couple officers could have done this. The whole army could have done this. Don't know for sure, because I'm not going to look it up. I read over it in a cursory way. I read 2 conflicting reports. I'm not looking into it. But in the movie, the Japanese soldiers, officers, they just break down as the samurai die to the last man and bow and throw down their guns and bow in honor and respect to the samurai who are active.
To their opponents.
To their opponents. They're not dead yet. They're still like trying to get to the line. It's like the fight's still technically happening, but the peasants are like,
refuse to put him down.
You can kill me. I don't care. Like, you did it. Like, and so they bow down, and then the leader is laying on the ground next to Tom Cruise, and he reaches for his sword to commit seppuku because he's lost the battle, so he's going to die with honor. And Tom Cruise tries to stop him, and he says to Tom Cruise, "You've regained your honor, so let me die with mine," which is a pretty profound thing to say. And so they get up, and Tom Cruise helps him kill himself. And Tom Cruise helps him kill himself. He's leaning on Tom Cruise as he's bleeding out. He's been stabbed through the heart, and he's looking at a cherry blossom tree, and he whispers in Tom Cruise's ear, "Perfect." And Tom Cruise lays him down and looks at him. He's like, "What?" And he's like, "They're all perfect." And then he dies. And the devotion, there's a couple things that are extremely profound about that, which is, one, to come full circle like that in your last moments of having this like Bushido idea of the pursuit of perfection, and then as you die, you realize the whole time with this serene peace that it was all perfect the whole time, is pretty intense. That's a very positive way to die. And but then the faith and I understand that it's a depiction, okay, but that is how those guys actually died. You can read the Hagakure, you can read the reports and accounts of witnesses of many of these guys' deaths. They all died like that, actually. Like, they all died saying some crazy, like, final, like, I go to the honor of my family as they're dying. Like, there's no panic at all. They don't lament their own death. They don't have a fear of death. They go in a state of intense peace. Yeah. And to face your own demise like that is, I mean, that is the ultimate test of your faith. That is where what greater testament can you give to your own belief and your own faith that as you die, your concern is a statement of that faith, is this like, my concern is to leave the people around me with this concept of honor and devotion, not that I'm going to die and that things are pointless after I'm dead because now I'm dead, but that
My grandfather died earlier this year. No, late last year,
Yeah.
a little bit before Christmas. And when we called him, I got to talk with him on the phone like the day that he died. And he was kind of he was out of it. He wasn't really responding very much, but he was still talking when I talked to him. And most of it, my dad thinks he was just kind of praying the whole time. And he was saying, he'd repeat himself going like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And my dad was saying, I think he's praying, talking to God, praying to be taken home, praying to just over and over again, murmuring his devotion to his God for the goodness of his life. And this is from a man who spent my grandmother, his wife of many years, died in 2009, and so he spent the last 15 or so years without her and really, really missed her. They were tight-knit, and so he struggled a lot with that in his last stage of life. But he went out like that with that kind of peace and love for God, even though he had experienced hardship.
Yeah.
So that whole thing you said about, perfect, they're all perfect. It's very easy, especially in our society, to complain about things not being perfect. We're so used to comfort. All advertisement is, you deserve this, treat yourself, you deserve better, things aren't going very well for me. So it's so countercultural to have that conviction that is so deep into you that, like with my grandfather, who was, end stage dehydration, delusion, is still murmuring things like that of devotion and saying, I love you. I know you've given me some hard times, some struggles. It's not been perfect, but it's been perfectly God's plan.
Yeah.
So, it's not perfect in the sense that, this is a sinless world and there's no suffering or anything.
But it's all in God's plan.
It's purposeful.
It's purposeful. And there is maybe this is, I don't know, I'll say this and maybe we can cut this out or something, but there's from the molecules that make you up from the base of what you are, from your bones, from your marrow, from your feet, in your head and in your heart that God's plan is perfect and that this world is an embodiment of that plan. It is perfect. It is to look at the blossoms, to look at to have that, moment where fear is gone and there's just faith. And you whether you're dying or whatever, have that moment and go, it's all perfect.
Or just really suffering in the moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just death.
Yeah, but to have that pass and to have just faith, even for a moment, to have just faith and to have that tranquility, that like nirvana of like, it's perfect. This world is perfect and his creation is perfect. And my complaining and belly aching and fear and anxiety and my reprehensible worry and my lack of faith is all nothing. It has all been struggling against perfection. It has been a childlike squirming, just a misunderstanding. It is all perfect. Is very profound. My grandfather, my grandmother's grandfather would often, I think he was a choir director or something.
Okay.
So he would, what is this?
Conduct
music. When he died in his hospital bed, he was very sick, old, went out, he lost consciousness at the end, but he went out conducting.
Did he?
Yeah. Which is, maybe it's just something in the human condition that the Lord relieves us of at the end, to have those moments. But to have that faith and to have that peace, I mean, it's not like that isn't in our tradition. The Protestants came here and lost family and came here with nothing, came to the U.S. The Protestants that colonized this country had to have tremendous faith. There's a story, I can't remember who this was or what time this happened in, but I think it was there was a French fort, and it was like positioned such that they were like, the only way to get up to this fort is there's one path. And so it was very secured, and they were very invested on fortifying this path.
Right. Very bottlenecked.
Yeah. And the British soldiers, they were like fighting the French. There's Americans that have been here for 100 years or however long at that point, but we're still under British control. So they're in the British Army.
Okay.
Carved a path, cannons and all, through the swamp, like around through the swamp. And the French were just sitting there one day waiting. Like, these stupid Americans, they'll never get to us, whatever. And the trees just parted, and an army came through it, and they were like, "Oh, what is this?" No. And they just took the fort because they were not prepared at all to have these savages come through the woods with cannons. Yeah. They built these they engineered these specific kind of rafts that could roll once they got on land, so that they could go in the swamp and on the ground and in the swamp and on the ground.
No way.
Yeah. And they
the first amphibious vehicles.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So they got that, and they had to pull them, manpower trudging through the swamp with these cannons.
Yeah.
And they got through, and the French were just like, we're not even equipped. If this is what we're fighting, we'll just give up. We're not equipped to fight this. This is not
that alone that won the battle.
Yeah. They're just we don't
just
have
the fact they showed up at all.
Yeah.
Not where they expected them to.
Yeah. We just don't, we're not ready for this. And so it's not like that isn't in your tradition. That is in your tradition. You are capable. That genetically exists in you. Maybe not if you're we're on the French side, but
sorry, French.
Yeah. Sorry, French guys.
But we don't have a lot of French listeners.
I don't think so.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah. There's let me just read this. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, and believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you and your trespasses. But I want to just, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Believe that you have received it. And it's believe that you have received it. Not that you will, that you have received it. The Lord seems, at my estimation, to put a tremendous amount of weight in your belief, in how much you believe that this prayer can come true. How much do you believe that what you are asking for you have, because I am your God and I love you?
Well, really, it's just a belief that God is capable and willing to give you good things.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, precisely. And
Obviously, it's key that you're praying for things God has already said that he wants for you.
yes. But I also, to what level of belief will the Lord allow a Christian to have around getting things he ought not have?
Say that again.
Like, how much will the Lord allow you to, if we're taking a Calvinist perspective here, that your faith is you can only have so much faith as the Lord allows you to have, how much faith could a Christian have in having something that they shouldn't have?
Sure.
Just a thought. But there's another. So this is Isaiah 6:8.
You're just saying that a true believer wouldn't have an excessive amount of faith, that he should have something he shouldn't.
Right.
Okay.
Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me." I don't.
What passage was that?
That's Isaiah 6:8.
Isaiah 6:8.
I don't know. I don't know that it's productive for people, for men, to think in terms of having to fight themselves, that they are personally going to have to fight in some grand battle for our time. You might not. I don't know.
Are you talking like a physical battle, or are you just talking about
that there's going to be some, one of the things we talk about
like
quite
a civil
often.
war, to be blunt?
Civil war.
Okay.
Yeah, civil war, to be blunt. We talk about all the time that there may be some great upheaval in our generation, and there might be. There might be. I don't know. The stories that we tell, The Last Samurai, Isaiah's example, the place that is useful to you is not in having some great bravery on the battlefield, some great bravery to stand up in a grand way and stand for something and not back down and do what matters in a beautiful historic moment where people will remember forever. It's very unlikely that will happen to you or me or to Jason or anyone. These stories are good because there's if you have a daughter, there's a chance that she will be harmed. If you have a boss, there's a chance that he will do you wrong. There is enough suffering and pain in your little life that you will have your own chances to stand and die like a man for what you believe in. And it will be a little death. It won't be your end, but a little death. You'll lose your job. You'll lose a friend. You'll get asked not to attend the thing you've been attending. You'll upset your children. Something will happen. But it is important for men to have these examples, not because grand things happen to regular men, but because regular things happen to regular men. And regular things are dark enough. Regular things are painful enough. It is on you to bear the weight of a regular life. And without faith, like these samurai have, without faith like Isaiah, without faith like these great men of the Bible, whose faith falters.
Yeah. Big time sometimes.
Without faith like that, without faith the size of a mustard seed, you cannot stand against regular suffering. I believe the existential state of dread and anxiety and depression that we've now gotten feedback from our audience about, that I know about, that I hear about from my mental health professional mother all the time, that you see everywhere on social media and on the news and in the, you feel it and smell it like a blanket in the air. People are not okay. It is not because life is bad. It is not because housing is unaffordable. It is not because there's too many immigrants. It is not because doctors are whack. It is not because the quality of life is lower than it was. It is because we do not have faith. If you had faith, then the suffering would be ennobling. The suffering would make you feel powerful. The suffering would give you purpose and reason. It would have the opposite effect that it is having now. You feel this way because you do not have faith. And if you are willing to say to the Lord, here am I, send me, then you might find some relief from your pain.
So you will find relief.
I'm
from
being
it.
facetious in saying you
Oh,
might.
you might.
You will find relief from your pain. It is in the faith where you find that peace. It is in that faith where you will die realizing everything is perfect. Every blossom is perfect. Every dandelion, every blade of grass, every chirp of every bird has been made by the Lord. A grand design of a God who loves you and who loves the things that he has created. It is faith. That is where you will find. That is where you will find peace. That is where you will find a lack of depression, a sense of honor and bravery. It is in faith. Quit looking to change your circumstances and improve the world around you and improve your faith. Everything else will fall in line after that. My life, after I got saved, for years, my life stayed as I was desperate and in pain for years after I was saved. It was not until my prayer almost exclusively became for faith that I got any sense of relief from the pain that I was in.
Instead of praying for circumstances
Right.
to change.
Lord, please, I just need more money. Lord, please, I need a girlfriend. Lord, please, this is a problem. Lord, give me an opportunity to get out of this situation, whatever. I stopped and I started praying for faith.
Please give me faith. Please give me contentment. Please give me joy and peace in my circumstances.
And
Give me faith.
that is when everything changed for me. That is when my circumstances changed.
Because
That's
above all, that's what God promises to us,
Yeah.
is that he'll give you faith if you ask for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, Ethan's right. Everything else will come afterwards.
And there's no point in raging against reality until you have faith. It is not. I saw somebody say that the epidemic of depression in men is because they lack agency in the world. They can't affect it. It's because you lack faith. You do not believe. If you believed, it wouldn't be a problem. If you believed that the person who you loved most passed away, or that the world is not organized as you see it should be organized, because whatever, if you believed that that was happening because the Lord decided that's how it ought to be, if you believed that, really believed that, you would have peace. But you don't. You don't believe that. Anxiety and fear is a lack of belief. And I was just talking to my boy on the phone yesterday. I still struggle. I no longer struggle with the fear that the Lord doesn't have a plan. That doesn't occur to me anymore. I don't have fear in that. I have fear that the Lord's plan is something I don't like. That's my fear. I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
That I'll be humiliated in some way. It is I'm not saying that you can have some ascension in your time here on our mortal plane, that you're going to reach some Buddhistic nirvana where you have total faith in God and all your fear is going to be relieved and you're going to move through like this floating sort of saintly figure that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, look at the faith of this guy. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you would like to experience reprieve from your never-ending pain, from your suffering that starts when you wake up and ends when you go to sleep or start drinking, from one of those, if you want reprieve from that, faith is the only thing that will give you a second of rest. It is your only hope. It is your only hope. And a testament to the samurai, they had faith in the wrong thing. And look how powerful these guys were. Imagine if you had faith in the God of the universe that created you. Imagine if you had real faith in that. How could you be stopped? The historical
Fully
report
believed that he would accomplish his will
Yeah.
through you no matter what.
Yes. No matter what.
If you just listen and follow.
There's reports of these samurai charging, historical reports of these samurai charging into lines of guns, getting shot. Now in history they had guns too, but not a ton. But they were charging into these guns, and they were taking and this is like black powder rounds, like bullets the size of my thumb hitting these dudes, and they are ripping holes in them. And these guys are taking in the sword. These are the Japanese talking about, so I don't know if this is true, but this is what they said. These dudes are taking hits. They're taking 3-4 rounds a piece, arms coming off, whatever, and they didn't stop. And they routed a whole division. The Japanese officers wrote that these men were so devoted to their cause that their horses would get shot and not back down. The horses weren't scared. Imagine if you had so much faith that your horse wasn't scared. And what are you worried about? Your paycheck? These guys are running into guns. What else is there than faith? Now leave your stupid little comments, TikTok. Check out that clip and leave your stupid your little comments. Faith is all you have. Faith is all you have. And how do you get faith? Let's end it with this. How do you get faith?
Prayer.
Prayer. Cast yourself on your face and beg. I've done it. I've done it recently. I was in a bad way. My daughter was crying desperately, really upset. I didn't know what to do. I almost called Jason in the middle of the night. I handed, not my newborn daughter, it's my 2-year-old. So she's got pipes on her. So she's upset. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's
Loud.
really, really upsetting. I hand her off to my wife. I got to take a second. I walk off into the living room and throw myself on the ground and burst into tears and beg for mercy and faith. That is what I begged for. And I don't mean, Lord, please. I mean, begged like I was going to die. Lord, have mercy on my family. Please do not punish my daughter for my misgivings. Please give me faith. What do I do? Give me faith. Throw yourself on the ground and beg like a dog for faith. That is how you get it. You pray.
Let's close with 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 16 through 18. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you.
Guys, listen, we love you very much. We are praying for your faith. We're praying for our faith. We hope that the things that we do here help. Please attend a church. Find a church. Find a good church with people of faith, people that believe. That's very hard these days. But look, and don't stop looking until you find it. And if you can't find it, find a pastor or become a pastor and build it yourself. Become someone of faith, please. We need you. I need you. Jason needs you. Our children need you. We are in desperate need of people with faith. And so please find a church. Find a woman. Marry her. And with her, please.
Have some babies.
Yes. And teach them about faith. Help them build faith. Guys, we love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.